everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Bonerescu TV. Today is a super special episode, and honestly, doing interviews like this is one of my favorite things to do. And this is an interview with my wife, talking about Romania, talking about her experiences in Romania. So I am over the top excited. Stay tuned, you're going to want to listen to everything she has to say about Romania. She has a really good, unbiased opinion, unlike my biased opinion. So it'll be really fun. But before we get started, really, Megan, I want you to introduce yourself. Basically, tell the people what cities you lived in Romania.
Okay.
And also, either, you can do both if you want, but your favorite singer in Romania.
Oh gosh.
From Romania or Moldova, or your favorite song in Romanian.
Okay. All right. Well, hi everyone. I'm Megan. I'm Hagen's wife. I lived in Romania for about 18 months for a church mission, and the cities that I lived in, I was able to live in a lot of different cities. So I first lived in Bacău, then I went to Craiova, Bucharest, Timișoara, Ploiești, Pitești, and Sibiu. So I was very lucky during my time while living in Romania that I was able to see a lot of the country, with the areas that I lived in, the people that I got to meet, and then also just traveling in between those cities, seeing other parts of Romania. Okay, so my favorite artist or song, I honestly don't know who it's by, but My Stai.
Oh, My Stai, Trei Sud-Est.
Trei Sud-Est. Love it.
And I think it's featuring Ina.
Okay, and I love Ina. She has awesome songs. So we'll have to post a video of us singing. We do a duet. It's been like our thing of singing My Stai. So we definitely don't do as good as Trei Sud-Est and Ina, but you know, we're a close second or third.
Oh yeah, for
it's
sure.
Entertaining for sure. So
people would laugh at it maybe a little bit, but that's all good.
Yeah.
That's all good.
It's fun. We love it. So
Good. Well, I have a couple of questions here for you today, Megan. And first off, I want to start talking about the Romanian language. I know there have been some confidence issues for you learning Romanian at points, and for me too. And just like any person learning a new language, there's confidence issues and mistakes that you make. Like, and for Romanian speakers, you'll probably know these mistakes, but like how you say soccer in Romanian isn't the same as how you would say it in like Spanish or other European languages where you say football. The way I was saying it was actually really bad. I was saying it like my whole first week in Romania. I was saying I love to play soccer is what I thought I was saying, but I was saying a different word. You know, like how you say lemons. Yeah. There's so many mistakes and confidence issues that you go through while learning a new language.
absolutely.
But what kind of got you through learning Romanian and getting through those confidence issues? And also, like, when did it really click for you that, like, you liked Romanian and you could understand it and you felt, like, comfortable speaking to people in Romania?
Yeah. So Romanian is the first language that I learned, I'd say, pretty fluently. I learned a little bit of German in high school. Like, we all take a second language in high school, and you know, you learn your few phrases to get by, but nothing like what I learned in Romanian. So when I started learning Romanian, I spent, what was it, like 4 weeks or 6 weeks? 6 weeks in our missionary training center, and there you're learning like your basic phrases, and you're learning like how, what is it called, the endings to words, like possession of words and their genders,
Basically
things like
grammar.
that. Yeah, the grammar, your basic language skills. And so you come out of those 6 weeks feeling pretty confident, like, oh my gosh, I can speak Romanian. Shocking when you land in the country and you don't understand one word that anybody's saying to you. So that's like, you know, you're up here feeling great, and then it throws you to the ground, slams you to reality. But I think I was grateful for learning those basics at the beginning, because knowing those, you're pretty much able to figure things out, and you start to catch on and hear the different endings in words and just those different grammar rules that you've learned. For me, especially like Hagen said, when you make mistakes and, you know, some people are more quick to correct you than others, which I appreciated learning and having people help me say things correctly, but you know, it is hard sometimes. I feel like when I was about 9 months of living in Romania, I felt pretty confident at saying what I wanted and like portraying, just saying the messages that I wanted to people. Honestly, I feel like the thing that got me through that was just realizing how much I loved these people and just wanted to speak to them like they were my friends, because they were my friends, they still are. And realizing like because they're my friends, they're proud of me for trying to speak their language, because it's not an easy language to learn. It's pretty tricky. And they were, you know, forgiving me for my mistakes and would help teach me and correct my mistakes so that I knew better for next time. So I feel like at 9 months I was pretty confident in speaking.
I do want to say, I think one thing that's cool about like people learning Romanian, especially like foreigners, is most people like who are Romanian expect to leave Romania or Moldova and go and speak like English or Russian.
Yeah.
So for someone coming in and learning Romanian, most people are like, oh my gosh, you're so incredible, like this is so awesome. It's so cool for those Romanian people to like hear an American trying their hardest, even if you make so many mistakes, to learn this language that's like
really difficult.
Yeah, so difficult and like so sparse too. Like not everyone in the world has ever even heard of Romanian.
Right.
So it's so cool that you were able to go and like fight through those challenges and fight through those like mistakes that you made.
Yeah, like I said, I feel like once I truly realized where my motivation was coming from, and that was from just talking to my friends, I felt that big change. Because when I was in Romania, I also had the opportunity to help people learn English, and I felt that way towards them. Like these Romanian speakers who didn't know much to any English, I was able to teach them the basics, the grammar, and then watch them progress to learn sentences and, you know, phrases. And that love that I felt for them as they were learning English, which was my native tongue, I realized that's the same love and excitement they were feeling for me learning Romanian. So
super cool. I love that. All right, next question here, Megan.
Okay.
So when we talk about like Romanian culture and American culture, there's obviously going to be differences. The way people act to you, like the lifestyles people have grown up. What would you say are some of the big key differences in between Romanian culture and American culture from your perspective?
Yeah. So, oh man. I think one thing for me, maybe it's just where I grew up, people weren't very blunt.
No.
And my first...
Americans, like, not very
most
blunt
of us
at all.
aren't. Yeah.
No.
So my first day actually in the country, I went to a doctor's office because we had to get a physical and just make sure that, you know, we were in good health. And somebody saw my height because I'm pretty tall, and they looked at me like, you could be a model. You should lose a few pounds first. And I'm like, in English they're saying this to me, and I didn't think I was at an unhealthy weight or a bad weight. I am tall, and I was like, I could be a model. Oh, but I need to lose weight. And that's not something that I don't think anybody that I grew up with would feel comfortable saying to a complete stranger at a doctor's office. So that was probably like the biggest first culture shock I had, was the bluntness. I feel like I came to appreciate that though, because, you know, why beat around the bush when you can just tell me the truth?
Yeah.
And yeah, you have to have some tough bones for that, but you grow from it. Another thing, I am a people watcher, and maybe this is just in like the areas or the experiences that I had, but I also smile at everybody that I walk by. And so maybe I was just like the foreigner walking down the street, this tall blonde girl. But I would smile at everybody and wave, and like on the metro, I would smile or stare, and that's not something that I think you do in Romania. You know, I mean, maybe you stare, but I don't feel like you stare, but the smiling and like waving wasn't as normal. I guess another big thing, like when I came back to my home after living in Romania for those 18 months was
Like culture shock coming back to America.
Yeah.
was-
Culture shock coming back was how different our cities and streets are. Yeah.
That's a good point.
Our roads were giant here. I'm like, oh my goodness, we could fit 10 streets on our one street. Having like our houses, because where I'm from, we don't have the blocks or the apartment buildings that you do in most areas in Romania. And just realizing like how different each city is compared to where I grew up, because everything is really central and close to the center of the cities. And yeah, just very close. And so you have like your public transportation. You don't need vehicles. You see a lot of people walking places where unfortunately that's not really an option in my hometown, because it is so big. Like you have to, like your work isn't 2 miles down the road, it's 25 miles across town. You have to have a vehicle because there's not as good as public transportation to get there. So I think that was another culture shock coming back home from Romania.
Yeah, because like here, especially in the West, we live out in the West in America.
Yeah.
There's a lot more like expansion, and most people live in single family homes or like have a backyard, even if you are living in a townhome. And it is a lot more expansive. It's not close, and you can't just like walk to the store super easily.
Yeah.
But there are pros and cons to both sides of that,
Definitely.
right? Like we have like backyards, but they have expansive parks in
Yeah,
Romania.
beautiful parks. Oh my gosh, I miss the parks in Romania.
Yeah.
They're incredible. You felt like you were in a fairy tale. That's
They
what
are
I thought of.
incredible. They
Yeah.
are like the fountains going and everything. It's super awesome.
All the ice cream machines, the little ferry boats pedaling on the lakes.
What about like shopping?
I feel like the malls were so lively.
Yeah.
Like clothes shopping, mall shopping was really fun. Just like everybody was there, and it was like the place to go was the mall.
Huge malls. Too.
Giant, incredible malls. Like lots of fun things in the mall. They even had like their grocery stores inside the mall.
Yeah.
That was cool because you know you don't have to go to multiple places. You just go to the mall and you get your groceries and your shopping done. The grocery stores were kind of different. I mean, not really. It felt similar. I think just like, I guess where a lot of places do have this now, but like you had a gate to get into your
Yeah.
grocery store, which now I think they're starting to do that here as well. But when I first got there, that was different.
Okay.
We don't have corner stores.
No, we
Many
don't.
corner stores.
We don't.
Like
But
if-
I also think that's due to like how far away we live from everything,
Yeah.
rather than like we live on top of a block with like a corner store below
Yeah,
us.
that's true. Okay.
Okay, great. I love that. What
Yeah.
about your favorite city? Can you talk about? I know you have one favorite. Can you talk about your favorite city and why it was your favorite?
Yeah. My favorite city is Sibiu. I loved all the cities I've visited and lived in Romania, but for me, Sibiu, I felt like I just had an incredible experience there. Our house was right in Centru, and that was just beautiful. And I think you just got to experience that culture. We had like Forza Zoo and just like all the concerts in the summer, which was really fun to see. Just the liveliness that happens in Centru is really fun to be a part of and watch every day. I loved the German
Influence.
influence in Sibiu. I have a German heritage, and so that was really fun for me to feel like I connected more with that city because of that. Another thing, there was in the church in the Centru Sibiu, there was somebody who was doing a piano concert on the organ, or I guess an organ concert, and I remember listening to that like all the time, and it was incredible. So just like those core memories that happened there just helped my solidify Sibiu as my favorite city. Plus I met this handsome guy there, so I mean that's a bonus.
Great bonus for sure. Okay, great Sibiu. What about like treats or snacks? Like I know they have like a lot of these stands, right? That
Yeah.
you can go and get a snack. Kovrig was your favorite. huh?
Absolutely. Gigi's chocolate cobri. To this day, my favorite treat. They had I know other European countries do too, but the sour Skittles, the crazy sours, those are so good. Because in America, the sour is on the outside, but in Europe and I think Canada, the sour is on the inside. And you guys, so good. So if you
So
have a
much
chance,
better.
buy some of those crazy sour Skittles.
Okay, a couple more questions and then we'll be done out of here. If you could leave like a message towards Romanian people, you know, whether it's like confidence towards like Romania or there's a future or like what you loved about them, what would your words be to these Romanians?
Yeah. First of all, I'd say thank you for accepting me to love your culture so much in your country. I think it's absolutely beautiful and I want to go back all the time. I think it's incredible to have learned about the history of how far you guys have come and the growth even just in like the past 10 years since I've learned about Romania, how far you guys have come. I think it's just an incredible place and more people are coming to love it as well. But yeah, just as a people, I think continue to like, I know Hagen says it all the time, but be proud that you're Romanian because it's incredible. I think you're coming from like a strong past of people and you're even stronger. So just keep fighting and yeah, you're incredible.
Good. I love that. That's so nice. And there's so many great things you can say about the Romanian people. And so I think you did an awesome job and that was really heartfelt. So thank you so much. All right, we went back on a trip to Romania.
Yes,
and we toured a couple of cities while we were there. Where was the best sarmale that you had?
It was in Pitești.
Way wild, right?
Yes.
Pitești had the best sarmale.
Oh my gosh, you guys. And we got like, even the mamaliga was good, which I feel like I have a harder time liking mamaliga. But just the whole plate, it was incredible. We had some of the grape leaf sarmale and the cabbage sarmale, and it was cooked to perfection. Like the flavors, everything.
Absolutely incredible.
Oh yeah, we've tried to make sarmale, and now the bar was here. Now, since the Pitești sarmale, it's even higher. So
yeah. All right, what about driving? Because we got to actually drive. We didn't just ride in taxis. I drove.
Yeah.
But we were in the car together driving around the country. What did you think about the driving?
Loved it. It was such a different experience because when I was there last time, we just took public transportation and the trains, which was super cool. But I loved about the driving is you went through all the little sots or towns and you know, the small little cities. You just got to.
And every little city had like a church.
The little benches on the outside of everybody's gates are my favorite, and you'd see just the homeowners living there and like sitting on their benches with their neighbors, chatting or I don't know what. But I loved being able to drive Romania. It was such a different experience from the trains, and you could go fast. I didn't feel like we were going as fast as we were, but you go fast on the highways.
Well, yeah, that's like the Autobahn, like.
Yeah, it was fast, but it didn't feel like it. But then again, I loved that like you got to go into every city and experience that.
Yeah, driving through all the little towns was so cool. We stopped at so many little towns we've never even heard of. I can't even remember most of the names.
Yeah.
But we were just like, oh man, look at that, like, cum se spune cetate? Citadel or something.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, something like that. Fortress.
That's a good, yes, that's the right word.
Like, look at that fortress up there. Look at that church. Let's stop. Let's go.
Yeah, or even like, look at all the colors of these houses in this neighborhood. Yes. And look at the centru, like, yeah, or the pastry shop over there.
It was awesome.
It was so fun to drive Romania. I 100% would recommend driving. Obviously, if you need, like, take the train because it's such a cool experience, but man, driving and experiencing all the little towns was just really neat.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right, one last thing. This is a quiz I have for you. It's a one-question quiz.
Yeah.
Romania has a flag.
Okay.
this flag, I think, was officially the flag once the revolution happened. I think they had one before the revolution. I can't remember exactly what it looked like, but after the revolution, this flag was put into place. What are the tricolor on the flag?
Red, yellow, and blue.
Red, yellow, and blue. Awesome colors.
Yes, the
Awesome
primary
colors. And so glad that we can talk about Romania. I know I talk to our kids a lot in Romanian. You talk to them and help them learn Romanian as well. And that's like one thing we want to pass on is like the Romanian language, just because it's so cool. It's such an awesome language, and it really does like give you another way to communicate with even more people, which is so cool. So thanks so much for doing this interview, Megan. It's
so
fun. Like I said, this is my favorite, being able to like talk to people about their experiences in Romania, interviewing them, getting to know more knowledge about Romania, and doing it while driving. Pretty fun too. Like
Great fun.
really
Road
nice
trip.
road trip. Gotta love it. So thank you guys for tuning into Bonarescu TV. We appreciate it. Make sure you go and give Megan a thank you. I love you. Whatever you want to say to her in the comments, she'll really appreciate that. But we love you guys. Thank you so much. We'll catch you soon.
Ciao.
Arrivederci.